Hi, I'm Sherry from SherryLouMiller.com, and today's going to be a little bit of a different video. Maybe last week or the week before, I don't really remember. My neighbor, who I grew up with, who's one of my closest friends, watches my videos since the channel started. So I figured I owed my number one fan a heads up that after I finished my Canvas series, I probably wasn't going to record daily videos anymore. I just felt like the channel wasn't picking up any traction. It's taken time. I'm trying to do some other things in my business, start a Shopify store, work on different designs for planners. I'm working on a course. Got a lot of balls in the air, a lot of balls in the air. And the YouTube channel, I just felt maybe it needed to take a back seat because it wasn't really adding value to the business model, and I wasn't really enjoying it anymore. I think I mentioned in a video before, I had someone critique my channel, and it's about the thumbnails and the this and stop doing that. And that wasn't why I started. Like when I started it, it was for the micro principles: mindset, intention, choices, action, and habits. Primarily, it was going to focus on your finances. But I did a couple of tutorials, I think, that really got more traction on the channel, more views, and I decided to pivot. Plus, at the time, I really liked doing them. But I don't want to do an entire channel based on tutorials. I need to balance it out because I like sharing that. And I realized that this week, as I was doing the shorter videos for the 25 days of Canva tips and tricks, that I like doing that. But did I want to continue? So the answer is yes. And there are a few things that changed my mind. One, I came across two young ladies on, I don't even remember what the title was. And it wasn't their thumbnail that grabbed my attention. So that's going to be what I follow up with next. So the one is in a similar space. She does Etsy tutorials. That's probably how I came across her. And she was saying, like myself, she's an introvert. So in trying to do the videos, initially, for my personality, for me personally, it was challenging. I've gotten more comfortable on the doing videos, talking to myself. I enjoyed in the beginning when I would have people on with me, just interacting, made it a little easier for me. But she was saying like she talked different, she acted different, like she wasn't even herself on the videos. So she didn't enjoy it. So one day I guess she did, I don't know if it was a day in the life, a vlog. She just did something that was true to her, random, had nothing to do with her channel. And it picked up traction. And I think that was the video that took her the trajectory of her channel in a different direction. And she had been on the platform maybe like a year or two, and she wasn't really getting any views on her channel. The other young lady was the same, but she had been 4 years. And don't remember her channel, but she said the same thing. And people were telling her, well, why do you keep doing them? Like if nobody's watching. So one day she decided she was just going to do a video that was for her. And if people watched, they watched. If they didn't, they didn't. But since no one was watching anyway, what difference did it make? And I guess the video picked up a lot of traction. And I think it was she either suffers from anxiety or something like that. So now she does more videos on that in her channel. She's doing very well. She grew it to over 100,000 subscribers, I think, in a year, which is awesome. So follow up to yesterday. A friend of mine's daughter, that we all grew up, actually, my number one fan, Erin's mother, we all grew up in the same neighborhood, so we pretty much have known each other our whole lives. Well, her daughter has a channel, Erin On Demand. Shout out to that, because I think that moved the needle all the way. That made me decide, yes, I'm going to continue with the channel. Yesterday or the day before, she did a video on authenticity. And, like, what does it mean? It means something different to everyone. If you want to check it out, just go on her channel and you can watch it. It's a pretty short video, I think 7-8 minutes. But that got me to thinking, yes, like between these other two young ladies and that video, we're recording videos, in my case, to share value, to share my journey, to hopefully lessen the amount of trial and error you have to go through by sharing my journey and things that I experienced when I was starting my Etsy printable shop. But it should also be enjoyable to the content creator. We're providing value, but it has to bring joy to me too. And maybe the last couple of months of 2022, which is probably why I wasn't posting consistently anymore, it wasn't doing that anymore. In the beginning, I recorded videos that focused more on the micro principles, mindset, intention, choices, action, and habits. And I would just talk off the cuff, which I do now. And also in my tutorials, I'm not scripted. If I have a lot of points to make, I'll do bullet points, but pretty much it just is what it is. I don't edit, as you probably can tell, and probably not going to change that. I do want a better camera because right now I record on my computer because that's where I have to start. But going forward, yes, I'd like a camera, put it on a tripod, all of that. But the editing, no. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do that. So yesterday, after I watched Erin's video, I just started to think, yes, the channel has kind of gotten away from my original vision, which was the financial flexibility. But it ties into the digital products because that's why I started recording them, is to show people that it's possible. It's a low barrier to entry, although it is a little bit more competition, but you can pretty much get started with not a lot of out-of-pocket depending on what you're doing. But we'll stick with printables as far as like planners and things like that. Nowadays, there are a lot of videos on YouTube showing you how to actually create the planner, so you don't really even need a course. And those things I like sharing, but I also like sharing about mindset. I can talk all day probably about mindset, as well as the law of attraction. So at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, I can't remember, I did something on vision boards. Like I do my vision boards digitally now, and they represent me. They're pictures of me and the things I actually want, as opposed to ripping pictures out of a magazine. And I've been doing that the last couple of years. It just resonated with me better. But this year I thought, okay, I have to look at where I am in my life now versus what that board represents. And am I that person to receive it? Because you can't receive things if you're not ready to receive them. And so I did a 3-part series on that. Talked right off the cuff. It just rolled. Those things bring me joy, talking about those. Providing tutorials to you does too, but not every week. So after watching her video last night and thinking back on the other 2 young ladies that I had seen, I think like last month or something, the channel is definitely going to stick around. So my number 1 fan, no, it's not going anywhere. But I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to talk about the tutorials, anything that I think can move the needle on your journey to help you move through creating a digital product business. I'm still going to do. Like right now, I'm struggling a little bit with the Shopify. There are a lot more moving parts for me with Shopify because that's not a marketplace like Etsy. So Etsy, you set up a shop on Etsy, you just put it up. The customers are already there. Etsy, they collect, if you sell out of the country, they collect the VAT for you. If you don't, you're just selling in the US, because I'm in the US, they collect the sales tax, they do that for you. You don't have to do any of those things. Well, you go over to Shopify, that's your store. So you are responsible for everything. You got to know the rules. You need to know what you should be doing. Does your state require you to set up sales tax? All of these things. So not moving as fast as I like, which is another thing I realized this year. I got to quit putting these deadlines on everything. It will come when it comes. It'll be what it's going to be. So I've slowed it down on the Shopify. I'm like, set it up right, do it right. If it takes 2 weeks, it takes 2 weeks. If it takes a month, it takes a month. So all of this is my mindset for 2023. My YouTube channel, the thumbnails are going to be what thumbnails are. Me personally, I see some thumbnails, I watch the channels. It's not what stopped me. It's normally the title. That's what'll catch me. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. And I'll watch it. But the algorithm, what people like, what people don't like, it's a little subjective. And while people who track it, they know more than I do. But going forward, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I hope you stick around. I hope you watch. I will continue to do the tutorials. I'm going to switch back, do a little bit more mindset. Every now and then, I'm going to throw some law of attraction in there, because you're either a wannabe business owner and you're trying to get started, or you are a business owner. Either way, we need encouragement along our journey. We need a positive mindset, a growth mindset. We need to be able to see the vision. We need to be able to see that it's possible. And that's what keeps us going. Maybe we aren't where we are. We are not where we want to be right now. But if you can see the vision and you know it's possible, then that's what keeps you motivated. That's what keeps you going. So, yeah, we're going back. Rewind. So thanks to Erin for her video, because that was the nail in the coffin that made me decide, yep, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep recording. But the way I'm recording, or the things that I'm recording, it's going to be a little bit different than it's been probably for the last 6-9 months. The other two women, if I knew their names, if I had saved their channel, I would give them a shout out too. But I did not. But I still thank them for recording their journey, because it caused me to have a mindset shift that do it the way you're going to do it. The people you attract, those are the people that you want to attract. Those are the people that you want to watch your videos. And the others, thank them for showing up. And if they don't stick around, just thank them for the part that they shared in your journey, and keep it moving. So maybe it was a rant this morning. I don't know. But I hope you found value in what I said. Maybe it gets you to rethink a decision or a choice that you've made, because back to the micro principles: mindset, intention, choices, action, and habits. Give it a thumbs up if you found value. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you do. Stick around and hit the notification bell. I'll see you on the next 25-day tip.